Since morning, we've heard this gentleman's name many a times, and it's time to call him on stage. I'd like to ask Mr. Surendra Borad, Chairman of Gemini Corporation, to come up on stage, just to give a brief introduction on him. He's based in Belgium and is the founder and chairman of Gemini Corporation. He's engaged in sourcing and distribution of recyclable plastics, metal, and rubber. With a team of about 200 people, his business spreads over 16 countries, and it handles about 1.2 million tons of materials. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India conferred on Surendra ji 2015 CA Global Business Leader Award. He is also the chairman of Plastics Committee on BIR. To achieve his philanthropic goals, he has adopted 8 Indian villages for their medical needs, and he has built and he's operating 2 schools, which has about 400 students. He also supports the plantation and maintenance of over 100,000 trees. Mr. Surendra Borad.
Let me begin with a story, an exciting story of a young lady. She could not go to any college. Her father went to prison for political reasons. She had to start work at an early age to support her family. Her English was poor. Still, with only $3,800, she started the business of waste paper in Hong Kong. 20 years later, within 20 years, she became a billionaire through the waste business. She's the largest importer of waste paper from all over the world. She's the richest lady of China. Her name is Mrs. Jiang Yin from the company Nine Dragons. Her turnover is in billions. Her net worth is in billions. How can one of us from 1,000 delegates attending this conference, what needs to be done that our children can also think of becoming a billionaire also? If India can produce a billionaire in port services, a billionaire in IT services, a billionaire in banking, why not a billionaire in waste business? This is going to be the theme of my presentation, Honorable Minister Sahib, Secretary Sahib, distinguished guests, delegates. Sanjay Babu, congratulations. You have put under one roof the who's who of the world's recycling industry. Congratulations. I live in Belgium. Within 20 kilometers of my office, there is a waste management company called Indawar. It was recently sold for 6,000 crore rupees. How much? 6,000 crore rupees. There's another company within the same 20 kilometers of my office, a company called Umicore. It's investing every year hundreds of crores of rupees in recycling business. Belgium is a very small country. Its land area is not even 10% of the Rajasthan land area. The population is little over 1 crore only, yet the waste management company of Belgium have such a high, incredible valuation. In its neighboring state, Germany, there is another group called Remondis, also in recycling business. The turnover of Remondis, 42,000 crore rupees. How much did I say? 42,000 crore rupees. 32,000 people, also in recycling business. I can give you similar examples from other regions of the world. What are the reasons that the waste management company have such a high valuation? Why the waste business is being considered as one of the most interesting business of this 21st century? Because the global waste business is almost as big as the GDP of India. The Indian GDP is estimated to be worth $2,300 billion. And the global waste business is considered to be worth $2,000 billion. And it's increasing every day. There's a growth of $150 million every day. So that's an increase of almost 1,000 crore rupees of business every day. Isn't that a big business? It's a big business, man. a lot of money to be made, a lot of jobs to be created. I think you have to look inside the hole only. You are sitting on furnitures. The furniture recycling business in UK alone is worth $2 billion. In USA, $2.5 billion. You are using mobile, laptop, electronics, mic. The recycling business of these products worldwide, $50 billion. You are using plastic folders, plastic pens, films. The business of plastic recycling, $40 billion. And then you look outside the hotel compound, life of about 9 million vehicles, including 1.2 million cars, comes to an end every year within India only. That's a huge business, Birendraji, that's a huge amount of business. How do we convert this endless list into material and manpower employment? Culturally, socially, and economically, as we heard earlier, we are brought up with a mindset that scrap is waste. Waste is kachra. Waste is raddi ka saman. Waste business is kabadi ka kaam. We have to and we must change this belief system. We must do the rethinking that it's not kabadi ka kaam, it's a material at a lower price. Did it ever come to your mind why China is able to produce goods at a cheaper price, at a lower price? Because it consumes 50% of the world's internationally freely traded plastic scrap. Because it consumes 60% of copper scrap exports from USA. And because it consumes about 60% of waste paper from USA. Obviously, it's able to procure input at a lower price. Naturally, their cost of production would be lower. As recently as last month, Minister Sahib, China did not allow a deal to go through under WTO. That deal involved international liberalization of trade in environmentally friendly goods and technology. It was a deal worth $1,000 billion, and China did not allow to go through. And you may want to know why. Because China did not want India to get the benefit from this liberalization, as India was not a party to the group under WTO. What should we do that we are not left behind like this in this promising business? My first recommendation is similar to Chinese industry. The Indian industry must have free import possibilities. You can always put some checks and balances for quality, but let it be a freely traded commodity. My second recommendation, we must work hard to change the perception of general public and the public authorities on the quality of recycled materials. There was an article in a waste recycling magazine in India giving reference to Central Pollution Board of India. The article stated, recycled plastics are dangerous to your human beings, detrimental. I wish I could meet him personally and convey to him in England, all milk bottles are made with mandatorily 30% recycled plastic contents, all milk bottles. And there is a voluntary agreement to raise it up to 50% of the recycled plastic contents. Which mother would allow her children to drink milk from a bottle which is made from recycled and which is dangerous materials? This is what we have to convey and spread around to the public. My third recommendation, please make predictable long-term laws and regulations, similar to Europe. In Europe, there is a law that every vehicle must be recyclable to the weight of 85% by the weight-wise, to the extent of 85%. This law was announced 10 years before its implementation. The law was informed in 2005 before its implementation in 2015. No wonder a small country like Belgium, they have got 16 shredder plants. In a small country, 16 shredder plant as opposed to no plant in our country. Belgium generates 1 million tons of iron scrap, a resource of 1 million tons. If we have similar predictable long-term laws and regulations, can you imagine how many shredders would be installed in our country? Dozens, if not less. And there would be huge interest from the foreign institutions, foreign investor, because India is an attractive destination. Belgium is a shining star when it comes to recycling. My company, Gemini Corporation, being based in Belgium, can bring in modern technology, modern system, and modern machineries too. Next to predictability, my next suggestion is please do not impose sales tax on the goods which are made from recycled materials. And if you have to, Minister Saab, impose some duty or tax, please do it at a concessional rate like the Koreans have done. My next recommendation is on government purchase. Please give special weightage and importance to those goods which are made from recycled material, exactly the way US is doing. In the US, you have a repeat system. We have today as our distinguished guest, Mrs. Robin Wiener, the president of American Recycling Association, ISRI. She would confirm to you that computers, printers, these goods, when they are made from recycled products, they have a higher priority in the public tender system in USA. My next suggestion is, please make recycling targets on different products: plastics, metal, rubber, ferrous, non-ferrous, and let there be a corresponding, predictable, long-term, friendly, and simple regulations. And my final suggestion, please grant legal status of raw materials to some scrap like Europeans have done. Our another distinguished guest, Mr. Ranjit Bakshi, the president of BIR, another worldwide recycling association, would confirm to you that Europe has granted the legal status of raw material to copper scrap, aluminum scrap, and glass scrap. And what it means, those industries which are dealing with these scraps, they have less administrative burden. How do we take these 7 FARAs, 7 steps? Minister Saab, is it possible to have a separate ministry for the scrap business? Can you believe in England, there is a ministry which used to be called Waste Ministry until now. There used to be Waste Minister, and now they have renamed it Resource Minister. If we can do that, that would be a giant step forward. And the first job of the minister or department or whoever responsible should be to revamp our legal system. Our legal system in recycling is designed to prevent misuse and misreporting. We have to redesign them to promote reuse and recycling. And this is what Europe has done now. Europe did the same way like we are doing. In the beginning, they made the rules to prevent misuse and misreporting, and then they realized, no, this is not the right way. It's the sustainability which must be the basis of the law. Let us turn this oil and coal-based black economy into a green economy based on recycling and sustainability. Let us turn this opportunity into a big machine for creating job and wealth and manpower employment. And let us plant a hope that one of us and our children are able to convert themselves into a billionaire in waste management business in India. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Thank you.